Phil, what is OMNIA?
OMNIA. So OMNIA is the latest suite of profiles that VEKA are in the process of launching that offers a complete solution for flush products in all types of windows and doors.
So, why did you create it?
This has come about through a lot of research and looking at the way the industry is changing, what's required, what will be the next new thing, changes in building regulations. So it was a calculated direction that we followed, based on a lot of research about what was growing, what people were looking for, and yeah, like I say, what could be the next best thing. Because I've been involved in it right from the start, I got to put my stamp on it of what that might be, and taken a lot of inspiration from what I would have liked to create as well. So I helped build the initial brief that we presented to the board before the project even started. So yeah, it came from a direction that we thought we needed to head in, and I helped steer it into a direction that I was passionate about, that I thought would really work.
Where did the idea come from? Where did that start?
Yeah, so the very basic idea came from that it would be a flush system. That was the growing market. That's where we saw growth from our own products and from other areas of the industry. There was a growth in flush products. So that was the very basics. Now, I've always wanted to be involved in developing a flush product. When I started at VEKA all those years ago, in the VEKA portfolio, it was my favourite product. It was something that, right back from the early days, I've always believed there should be something like that. You know, as being involved in a design role, you can't help but look at products and the aesthetics of them. And it's one area of PVC windows that's always disappointed me in a way, that things don't line up, that things aren't in line, or they're a little bit fussy. So yeah, I was all for getting involved in this project right from the start. And yeah, like I say, I think I put my stamp on it by helping mould that brief of what it is that we aim to achieve at the end.
So what makes it different? What makes it stand out?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously flush products have been around since early 2010. Halo was one of the first to introduce a flush product into the market. They're not truly flush, you know. I talk about instances where I've talked to people in the past where they've been disappointed that from every angle it's not flush, and they're predominantly just flush windows. Other people, there are some manufacturers who will make a flush door or other flush products, but they're not all suited together. You know, if somebody wants that flush look in their property throughout, they're having to source the different products from different fabricators or different ranges, and they don't truly match. This gives a fabricator an opportunity to make every type of window or door in a single property that all match and are all flush from every angle.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Definitely from a consumer point of view, they do like things to match.
Yeah. I mean, I've told this story a couple of times when I very first started at VEKA. My initial role was technical support. So I was answering technical inquiries on the phone for internal, external customers. And one afternoon I took a call from a homeowner. She'd spoken to somebody at VEKA a couple of months ago, and we'd recommended an installer who could install flush products for her. And she spoke to me saying that she believes that the installer that we've recommended has not installed VEKA products because her windows are not flush. So I asked her to take some photographs and send them through to me so I could have a look at them, and it was our flush system, but she was taking photographs from the inside of the house. So I explained to her that yeah, they're actually flush on the outside. And she said to me, and it was something that stuck with me right from the beginning, is, well, I didn't buy them for my neighbours, I bought them for myself. I wanted flush windows, and that's not what I'm seeing, you know, and that stuck with me for a long time. You know, if somebody likes the flush aesthetics of a product, then they want all aspects of it to be flush, you know, if that's what they're looking for. So yeah, that stuck with me for a long time, that yeah, if you're claiming that it's a flush product, then it should be flush from every angle.
So you've designed each of the products to be like that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So whichever way around you put it in, it could be an outward opening window, an inward opening window, and the same in a door, inward, outward opening door, whichever way around it goes in, it's flush from both faces. Yeah.
You mentioned customers there. Did you bring them in? Did you want them on the journey with you? Why did you bring them in so early?
Yeah, it was important and written in black and white in the brief that the customers would be involved in this journey, that their opinions, their ideas would be integrated into what the final output would be. We wanted their approval. I mean, we wanted this to be something that they would see that we'd worked on together, and give them the opportunity to take their experience, understanding their customers, to justify what we believed people wanted, you know, that was missing. So before any tooling was ordered, before any final decisions on what the range would be was agreed and set in stone, we brought them in to show them some early concepts, some prototypes, and explain to them the reasons why we'd got to where we'd got to. Yeah, so that work that we'd done as a very small team earlier, seemingly behind closed doors, we were now sharing with them to say, this is how we've got to this decision point. Yeah. And we were prepared to change it. We were prepared to alter the direction if the people that we wanted to work with didn't believe in that idea, didn't believe in where we wanted to, where we were aiming to get to. But anybody that was involved in those very early meetings will agree with me when I say that the reaction was overwhelming. Yeah, and I talked about this earlier. Changing over a fabricator from one system to another, integrating a new system is a huge ask. And these customers were chomping at the bit for this. You know, they wanted to be first. They wanted to be involved. They wanted to have their say. The way we brought them in, it was a very open conversation. It wasn't a presentation as such. It was an open conversation to say, this is what we're doing. What do you think? Let us have your feedback. You know, we were ready to, to make changes there, to add things, remove things, alter things, and we did. Once we'd had the customer's seal of approval, we then took it to other parts of the industry. We spoke to the hardware people, and still at this point, no tooling had been ordered. You know, we'd not set this in stone. We had a chance to make changes. And the reaction from them was great. They could see what it is that we were trying to do. They could see how this would work. And I had numerous comments where they were refreshed that a systems company would come at this stage. I think it's become more common now. You know, it's. I don't think it's unique in something that we did. I think people are. I think the industry is working together a bit more than it used to. It does feel like that anyway. We have a very open door policy here. We have a workshop where we work with hardware companies, customers to develop products, and we invite them in there to do that, to work with them. They were obviously pleased, and it gave us an opportunity to fine-tune our designs to ensure that once it hit the market, and those products that would be working with it would work with it without any surprises. We had the seal of approval from our customer base early on, and we'd involve the industry at an early stage as well to give us a chance to make sure that it was going to be a success technically.
Well, that is quite a journey. So was there any challenging points in that, enjoyable moments?
Yeah, anybody who works in product development, the enjoyment is the challenge. We use the word problem in product design in a different way that people might use it in other areas of the business. A problem is just something that needs a solution. So yeah, there's been challenges throughout it. I've taught in the past that it looked like it was going to be a thicker system, 76, 80, 9, possibly 90 mil system to achieve all the technical aspects that we wanted to achieve. For one reason or another, we decided at this stage it would be better to bring that back into a 70 mil system. So when you've got to get all these different technical features, all these different performance characteristics into a system in such a small box, yeah, there was challenges. Yeah, there was many things in the brief that meant that it had to be compatible with other products in our range. It meant that we didn't want to increase the product range too much. Somebody could easily integrate it into their existing fabrication business because they held some of these products already. Lots and lots of challenges. Building regulations were still up in the air. There was a lot of things undecided. There was a lot of speculation on where building regulations might take it. So we were having to make some assumptions on what performance levels it would need to achieve to have the longevity. A system needs to have at least 15 years lifespan ahead of it, really, to justify one, certainly of this scale, with the cost of tooling and integration into all those different fabrication businesses. So yeah, very, very challenging. But that's what makes the job enjoyable. Some nights you'll lose sleep. Some days you'll think that the solution isn't there. When you've been doing it for a while, you can relax a little bit knowing that, I might not know the answer right this minute, but it'll come, it'll get there. And again, that collaboration, that speaking with other people, not taking the weight of that onto yourself, involving other people, speaking to customers because they've seen so many different solutions over the years. Running it past a hardware manufacturer, just taking it out to somebody on a bench and saying, what do you think of this? What would you do? How would you solve this?
You mentioned customers in that journey in the process, but what do now that you've released it, what's the initial thoughts?
We're right at the final stages as it is today in the testing, and as it stands today, no fabricator has actually produced it in their own factory, other than some initial tests. But you can feel the urgency from them, that they're keen to get that in there. They're keen to start manufacturing it. That passion for it, that belief that we saw in the very early stages when we shown it to them, even after 2 years since we first introduced the idea to customers, is that drive is still there. I recently took a sample to an exhibition, which was its first public outing. First time many people had seen a finished product made using this system. And I proudly stood by that window for 3 days solid and explained every nuance and reasoning behind what we were showing there. And they got it. They really understood it. Everybody who I spoke to could see why we'd done it. And it was a proud moment for that, showing it to all these people. And I could feel that passion. I could feel that drive for people wanting to take this forward. I mean, I won't quote anybody. Some of the quotes that I've had back to, some of the feedback I've had back to me for the system, I think it would be unfair to quote those people now, but it's really, really encouraging. You can see that people have embraced the idea.
What's next for VEKA and you?
one of the aspects that we've included into this suite of profiles is that it's compatible and scalable. So it integrates with other systems that we already have, creating a lot of opportunities for different technical solutions, for different window styles, for different ways of making windows and doors by being compatible with other products in our range. But there is also a catalogue of other solutions that didn't make the cut in this initial launch that could be developed in the future, that could be introduced in the range to expand it even further. And it will be a platform that we will continue to develop going forward that could expand into many more solutions, many more aesthetics, performance levels, different sizes, all sorts of things. Like I said, there was a lot of research and a lot of time and a lot of iterations of the designs presented that didn't make the cut, but certainly not out of the question that we wouldn't introduce them in the future.
Brilliant. Thank you, Phil. Thank you for your time.